Hey, what the fuckers, fuccaneers, what the fuckatrons, what the fuckasaurus. I am just here starting a really original podcast. It's basically the Jessica Sele experience, I want to say. Just a very original concept, original intros, original guests, everything. The world really needs this because what if someone wanted to listen to someone and that wasn't there if they went online and there was nothing to do? God, that makes me really sad. What's up, you guys? What is actually up, you guys? Hello over there. I see you in the future listening to this, and I want you to get something out of it. That's kind of the goal. I want myself to get something out of it. What is it? What am I listening to? I want to say that it's kind of a comedian woman, millennial, aging, and shouting out into the void and hoping it catches on something before eventual death, such as always and forever the case of everything. We grab tools. Stone age, grab stone. This age, whatever the fuck you want to call this timeline. We grab microphones and podcast equipment. Mine on the lower end of equipment. But who gives a shit? Yep. I am wanting to talk about a lot of things on here, wanting to explore my life in this timeline, other people's lives in this timeline. I want to say the biggest thing for me is connection right now. A lot of people lonely in this time, trying to figure out how to make normal life with human instincts work. Our instincts to love one another, to be together, to be secure, maybe to have children, to have community. How can this work while we're working? How can this work while we're working? I don't know. I'm still out here doing comedy. I'm not 40, but we're looking at it pretty soon, especially the way time moves with my life. You guys seen that movie Old, the M. Night Shyamalan? It's well, spoilers, so, skip ahead a bit if you haven't watched Old and you're dying to watch Old and figure out what's going on there. But they're on a beach and it's like their whole life is flying by really fast. So, like they're aging like every 10 minutes is 7 years or something. And that is what has been happening to me. I am so upset that Donald Trump was elected the first time when I was in my 20s. Oh, there's people in their 20s experiencing this Trump presidency as an adult for the first time, not so shielded from their parents. God bless all these parents who are trying to give their child the most calm, normal experience with all these life-changing things going on. Wildfires, Trump, COVID, all these things that have happened in these children's lives. If I have one belief, it's, hey, we should do better for children. That's my main thing. I also have a lot of hormones going on, want to have children. I talk about that with my guests. Will I always have guests on this podcast? We don't know. Maybe. But sometimes for sure, and definitely this first, I want to say soft launch. I'm soft launching this because I'm still figuring out what it is. But as it keeps going, it's gonna launch harder and harder until it's rock hard podcast launch to spaceship rocket launch. Elon Musk so hard, have 17,000 children, become cyborg, take over. Well, okay, I don't want to do that. But yeah, this first episode, I will say when I recorded the first interview, lot of things going on before wildfires, before Trump, was so much has happened already since we talked. And I will say, my audio that I recorded in our talk, I want to say it's not good. I messed up, but I'll try to edit it down a little bit so that because she's fabulous and I want you to get the most out of what a fun time she is. The first guest I had to do a comedian. I mean, it's like we start with what we know, and my favorite people in the world are comedians. A lot of the media is going to try to tell you that comedians are not good people, they're narcissists, whatever. But I want to say that the comedians that have been in my life, I'm like very special, very giving, very spiritual, sensitive, incredible people. Are there some issues in the community? Yeah. But what about your community? What's going around your office cooler? That's what I want to know, because a lot of office coolers in the country look bad to me. Yeah, some comedians are doing a little damage right now, I will say, it's in terms of the politics. And I don't want to do any damage, and I'm going to try not to, but I'm going to try to stay really humble. And obviously, I would never do as much damage as, to back someone like Trump and be famous and do that. But I will try to not even push any false narratives. My God, so much bad information on my feed right now. So much, just like to the point where it's like, I feel like they're getting us to where we're not going to believe anything. It's literally just girls being like, it was foggy the other day, and this girl was like, what is this outside? Other people are trying to tell me it's fog, but I've never seen anything like this in LA. And this other girl turned on the water on Instagram and was like, look how bad the water quality is here in LA right now. But it was like, when the water gets foggy, because it's like aerated, when you have it on super hot, and then you let it sit for a second, it all settles and it looks clear. Anywho, a lot of conspiracies, a lot of weird stuff. I'm going to try to keep it just really nice space. Maybe we learn some things, but I'm a humble guy. I've got a lot of microplastics in my brain. My brain might not work that good enough to make anything interesting, but what a good practice to practice talk. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I will say that it is incredible, and I'm proud of myself that I'm recording this and that I'm getting this out for a few reasons. Number A, I am PMSing. I'm on about day 3. Day 1 was I got mad at my partner and stole one of his Gerolsteiners that he was trying to take to work. I was like, this water's for me now. I deserve this. So that was day 1. Day 2, I actually kept my good behavior, I want to say, but I did eat a lot. I ended up overeating and then having acid reflux at night. And then we're on day 3, and I've already cried imagining my dad's funeral, because my dad, he says he played All We Are Is Dust in the Wind at his high school graduation, and he thinks that's so funny that that's what they played. And then I imagined high schoolers playing that song at his funeral, and I just cried. So that's where we are. I've still got like quite a few days ahead of me till I start bleeding and then feel a psychological release. And then this is a monthly occurrence for me. The full moon comes out, blood comes out. I do hope that I get pregnant soon, just to get a break from my period, because I've never had one. Anywho, I think I'm going to just go ahead and get to the first guest and have you guys listen. There's opportunities to submit something to this podcast. And by that, I mean a song, a poem, a recipe, a strange thought you had, a weird dream you had, a secret love letter to me. I'm open to that. A secret hate letter to me. Oh, that might be kind of interesting. Oh, are you thinking, does anyone out there hate me? Are they thinking about me? This could be interesting. So the email is sometimelinepod@gmail.com. So send me an email, and I'll it could be anonymous, and you could ask me a question. Of course, I'm happy to answer anything. But for now, I just want to share with you a little conversation I had with Clare Okane, who's an awesome comedian who has done a lot of amazing things, and follow her a career. And she's actress, writer, all this good stuff. And I'm excited to see what what her life, how it continues to unfold. And thanks for thank you guys for tuning. You must be a real friend or family member if you're tuning in on this first little soft launch. So I appreciate you guys and your support through the years of every little weird effort that I make. I'm a depressed person, and I PMS, but sometimes I make little efforts to put myself out into the universe, and this message will get bounced back through satellites probably through Starlink or something to your phone. I don't know. Okay. Thank you guys. Enjoy Clare Okane.
This is Sometime Life.
Came all the way from New York for this.
That's crazy. Well, I've got a big budget, so I was able to put you up in a hotel and anything you need, for this podcast.
Appreciate it.
I'm doing here.
The chateau is fine.
I tried to book the other famous hotel,
The Beverly
Hills Hotel. That's what it's called. That's a hard name to remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't get that booking, so
That's okay.
I'm so sorry.
It's the holidays.
Embarrassing. Anywho, I myself am having a weird time, I would say. I'm having strange feelings about the exact timeline that we exist in. Mm-hmm. We exist in that timeline together.
Mm-hmm. That's what the podcast is vaguely
about, but it's probably mostly about nothing. I'm probably just having a midlife crisis right now. And I'm like, maybe do another thing to try to dampen the hormonal feelings of not having children that I'm having. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I can't have children because I'm doing this podcast. Mm-hmm. And it's very successful. Probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
totally.
So I'm doing this. So I'm trying to run out the clock. I had a dream last night about, I had a child and I was in a small town and there was a pumpkin event with all these families and their pumpkins, and I woke up crying, and I was like, I want to be in that beautiful town at the pumpkin event. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if that's real or just my uterus is just fucking with me right now. My hormones are just going hard.
How old are you?
37. Oh, I'm going to be 37 this month.
Happy birthday to you.
Please continue.
37. Well, I'm convinced that I'm going through premenopause. Everyone says you're too young for that, but I'm like, all the hormonal, the things that I have now come to recognize as hormonal changes, have intensified like crazy.
Yeah.
Like I told you, I know I'm about to start my period.
Yeah.
Because I'm feeling pissed in a way that I never have before.
My PMS has ramped up, although I've always had really bad PMS. Mm-hmm. But now it's I'm worried. I'm gonna go on some kind of rampage or something. It feels
I feel that way.
It feels it feels dangerous.
Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, so if this isn't if this is just leading up to that, to menopause, what's menopause gonna feel like?
I don't know, man. I do feel people have suggested perimenopause, and a lot of my friends are saying, but I do feel like my mom went through menopause in her 50s. So I'm kind of probably not, but maybe there's a pre. And also, there's a Grand Prix.
I think there's a Grand Prix. I think perhaps the environment, which you used to have a podcast about.
Yeah, this will be that too.
Okay, great.
Whatever.
But it's different than it was when your mom was growing up. Yes. So the things that she ingested, the things that affected her genetics,
Ooh,
we're
yeah,
probably
yeah.
a lot different than the things that we are.
I'm going through plastic menopause.
I think we're going through like we're like filled with Legos menopause. Yeah.
Yeah, true that. I don't know. Which is also like kind of another reason why I'm trying to stave off, like, I don't know if I'm going to win this battle with my uterus. I don't know. It might win. Because I had food poisoning and I was throwing up and I thought I was pregnant and I was like, I'm going to keep it.
Yeah.
But then it was just food poisoning. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like at this point it's the uterus, whatever the uterus thinks it can do at this point. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to have a Lego baby.
I don't want a Lego baby either, which is why I've started doing seemingly insane things like, you know, I'm really afraid of the the like pesticides and chemicals of tea bags, like the actual
Well,
bag.
you got loose leaf here. I got the bag.
Yeah, I'm like moving toward a loose leaf
Yeah.
life.
Good. I'm
Because
glad I gave
of
you the
that
loose leaf.
specifically.
Yeah.
Because I heard once that is the case. So I'm like trying to live less plasticky in the event that I want to have a baby that's not full plastic.
I think if I had a child, I would just go full Lego.
Yeah.
I honestly, and I think I would go full iPad baby.
Oh yeah.
I want to say that I wouldn't because I don't think it's good.
Yeah.
But I was babysitting some kids recently, and then I took out the phone at some point, and it got way different.
They just like become different people.
Yeah.
To
They were
become-
like, okay, I'm chill.
Yeah.
So, but then that makes them, I think, even crazier when it's not in front of them. So it's a bad cycle.
Yeah. These are the things to think about in age.
These are the things. Also, my knee.
Yeah.
I have a knee thing. I have a knee thing. It's not arthritis. They said I'm too young for arthritis.
I have anything to do.
They said I'm too young for arthritis. They said I'm too young for menopause. But I'm full of Lego.
My Lego baby coming out.
I gave birth to a Lego baby. Put it in front of my phone. Dang, dude. But I want to say the reason why I haven't like gone like the children and the house and that whole route is because when I was in my early 20s, you met me.
Yep.
I was like, I am so passionate about stand-up comedy.
How embarrassing.
And I see like the people who live in my high school town who had children and stuff. Actually, I don't see them much. They all deleted their social media or something.
Whoa, cool.
I know. And they like, you know, they're like by the water collecting oysters with their babies. And
Right.
there's
That's cool.
oysters in my high school
That's cute.
town. But I'm just like, I just kind of want to be like, okay, you guys did the right thing.
Yeah.
Because I know some of them wanted to be on SNL. There was a
Right,
band
right.
With some of the other theater kids and stuff. And, you know, even if I were to be on SNL, don't worry, we're not going to talk about it. We don't have to talk about SNL.
Great.
But even if I were, it's not, right? I don't know. There's no dream anymore is what I'm saying.
I think the dreams are becoming more existential. Or like the dream of happiness, stability, acceptance of one's body and place in life, as opposed to like, I want to make a movie with Judd Apatow. Like, that feels less and less, not only less possible,
Right.
but less important, at least at this point in our careers. For me.
I think part of my problem is I also have a sleepy Lego plastic brain right now.
Same.
Where I don't even, my passion, look, I need to seek out medication, but my passions feel.
Totally.
My passions feel, and I'm trying to figure out the insurance. But, you know, even like solving climate change or like getting involved with I'm like, everything feels so distant and so like, okay.
Yeah, and I was just talking to someone about this the other night, where it's like, it's hard to tell if, like, your loss of passion is just that your priorities have changed, or if you're going through a depressed moment, if you're actually experiencing depression.
Yes, absolutely. You know, I am in a 12-step program kind of thing, and they always say, like, don't, like, pull a geographic, like, make sure you've got all your internal stuff, you're doing all the inside work, which I'm not, and I should, but it's hard to know if I'm being called to change something. Mm-hmm. You read this book, All Fours?
No.
Maybe I'll give it to you.
What is it?
Miranda July's new book.
Oh, I've heard about it, and I really want to read it.
I'll give it to you. It'll be part of your payment in addition to
that's so
the
exciting.
Chateau. And,
right.
But anyway, it's very much like a going through perimenopause type of book.
Right.
And it's a big talk right now. It's a big, just like, we're fucked.
Yeah.
But also not.
Yeah. But, like, us specifically in the lives we've chose to live?
No. Just like the hormonal trajectory.
Oh, right.
It feels sad. But I'm excited for it to be over. I'm excited to be done with menopause at some point.
Yeah.
And, like, I'll either, like, have a child or I'll be, like, I'll have to get one of those. Have you ever seen one of those fake babies on TikTok? I get sent those a lot in my algorithm.
Weird. Why?
I don't know. I think I always watch it because I'm, like, uncanny. But there was one that, like, the woman was, like, they were showing it to the flight attendant, and the flight attendant was like, I never had children. Maybe I need to get one of these. It feels so therapeutic. And I could just see me, like, in my 50s with, like, a fake baby.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that might become more prevalent.
Yeah.
Especially with people who, like, you know, we're having less babies.
Yeah. I think in the climate change, all this era, Donald Trump, I think we should have no shame about walking around with a fake baby.
Yeah.
And I also feel that this is part of what the Disney adult thing is.
Mm-hmm.
I think that when I go to Disneyland, childless, I want people to look at me and think to themselves, that's sad. Because it is. I want them to notice, yes, I don't have a little one holding my hand in this ride. I have a little ghost child.
Yeah.
And we're waiting to go on Snow White together.
Mm-hmm. You want that, you're saying.
I do. I think that it's funny, the idea of people being uncomfortable by Disney adults, or like, I want them to be like, something's off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, it is. And it's, especially since it's such a phenomenon, it's such a, like, a thing that I like to imagine that all these, like, childless millennials are like, I've got my Mickey ears on.
Yeah. Everyone's really searching for something in a kind of crazy way.
Yeah.
And maybe it's like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of, like, the equivalent of a Disney adult pre the Disneyfication of the world, I guess, or, like, pre this moment of capitalism.
Right. And it, like, what would someone stuck, I guess it's like you're stuck in your childhood, you like childlike things.
Yeah.
But it'd just be kind of like, oh, you're frolicking in a field?
Maybe it was like, in the 60s, it was like drugs. Or something. You know what I mean?
I don't know, but since I've stopped doing drugs and drinking, I have had, like, a regression.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I just want to talk about dragons. And I'm like,
maybe it's getting, like, maybe it's like searching for a simpler time.
There's a thing about generations right now. Like, oh, I'm a millennial. I'm a Gen Z. I do this. Gen X does this. And there's something about the millennials that it's like we've been known to be childlike or something. That's like a stereotype, is that we're like too much nostalgia.
I think maybe it's because we weren't drafted into a world war.
Not too late.
I think the threat of death, while like we have like post 9/11 vibe, it's just a different way of coping. So the more adult generations were just the ones who had to grow up way faster than we did. They had no choice. They were having babies earlier. They were going to war. They had to like start their careers right out of college. They could afford college. So just everything started earlier for them, whereas everything's starting later for us.
Yeah,
right? This should be on the New Yorker radio.
Yeah. I'm going to send it. Send it to them. New Yorker has a radio?
They have like a New Yorker radio hour. They have New Yorker podcasts.
Hey, what do I know? I'm just an Angelino.
Oh.
I'm just an Angelino.
I'm just an Angelino.
What do I know? I never read a book.
I only watch TV.
It's true, though. I watch a lot of TV. I just got a blocker on my phone. I'm trying to look at my phone less.
Me too.
I've got a big phone problem right now. It's like really
You're on TikTok?
Addicty, yeah.
I'm not.
TikTok's very addictive. More so than Instagram, I would say.
And Instagram's pretty addictive.
And Instagram's pretty addictive. But once you're on TikTok, Instagram's addicted to TikTok because you don't go to Instagram as much because now I'm just seeing fake babies and...
I am a part of a podcast, I guess. I'm a co-host of a podcast. And we, Quora, where people ask crazy questions. Quora. Podcast is called Quorators. But I forget why we ended up on a website of those specifically kind of fake babies for sale.
Oh, yeah.
Where, these independent sellers whose whole thing is like selling these fake babies and fake baby parts if you sort of want to change up your baby. They also had a section for alternative babies, quote unquote, which were like babies that looked like the Grinch, but a baby. Babies that look like dogs or like were babies.
No!
Cat babe, but it's like with the body of a baby, like that silicone body of a baby, but manipulated to look like an elf or a devil or Chucky. It's really interesting.
Why that?
I don't know.
I've always wanted to have the feeling of if I gave birth to baby Chucky.
There are weirdos out there. Or normals. Who, I don't know. Everybody likes whatever. Go off.
Yeah, you're normal.
You're normal.
I just want to know, the thinking behind buying a Grinch baby because... I feel like you must be like, oh, it's so cute. I love holding this Grinch baby. Mm-hmm. That's okay.
I think that's okay. It was crazy to me just how many Grinch babies there were. And I'm like, so there's a market for this. And they're not cheap.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Yeah, there's a market. I think it's good for, people with dementia and stuff, they're saying.
Grinch babies?
The babies in general,
the fake babies.
Guess.
Really?
Yeah. Huh? That's part of their thing. I've seen these videos.
Well, then I like that.
They take them to nursing homes because they can't hold babies anymore, obviously. Because
they'll drop them.
Because they might be like, what's this?
Oh. That's sad.
Yeah. But I don't know if I can pull off. I don't know if I can pull off this real baby thing that my body seems to be wanting. It's like at the final yard stretch. It's like, let's go. And I'm like, I don't know. I think you should have pulled this earlier.
Maybe. I don't know.
It could still happen, but yeah, it's interesting because I've just been always so passionate about just wanting to perform and living that artist life. And I still like it. I still like performing and I still like stand up. Mm-hmm. But I just remember being like, I'm going to quit by the time I'm 30 if I haven't made it. And also just if you're not out here grinding every night, I don't know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And now I feel like I'm that older person, showing up to these mics being like, I'm still here taking your stage time for no reason, probably. Except that it's just what I still do.
Yeah, I mean, if you feel compelled to do it, just do it.
I feel more like I'm cursed.
Yeah.
Like it's a curse that I have that I physically can't remove.
Yeah, but you're good at it, so it's like, you have to just reckon with that, and it's like, well, how do I like it? That's what I'm thinking about these days. I'm like, well, I know I'm good enough at it. It's gotten me opportunities, but do I like it that much? No. And I don't really like the state of it in general. I almost don't even want to be associated with it because I think it's so corny. It's getting cornier and worse. And I don't know if that's just like me trying to be like a contrarian, be like, well, stand-up's so big and popular now, I don't want to do it. It's more just like, I don't want to do the stuff that they say we have to do now to succeed in stand-up.
Right. No, since I've been trying to post clips, I've been trying to do this on social media, and have been really just trying to commit to posting a few a week, and I'm markedly more depressed since I've been trying to do this. Yeah. Because I don't believe in it. I don't want people to be stuck on their phones watching me. I'm so magnetic. And so it's just like...
They just can't stop.
It's just going to feed into that. You know, like before Instagram was like Coke, and I'm introducing fentanyl. No, I'm just kidding. But it's definitely not like why I want to do it. It's no. But I do see people that have like been able to kind of like do a little bit better because they post all the time and stuff. And I'm like, oh, I should do the things that we're supposed to do. But yeah, it did feel like when we started the 2010s kind of time, that when I would tell people I'm a stand-up, it was like insane. Yeah. It was like, you're a loser, you're an idiot. That's crazy. Weird. That's nobody likes that right now. And that felt really good. Yeah. To just be like, okay. Yeah, I'm in my early 20s. I'm fucking up. There's no jobs right now. The Obama just became president. And I'm just going to go to this pizza bar wasted and tell these jokes. But yeah, now it's like cliche to say you're a stand-up. Like it's almost... Yeah. It's like, yeah. Yeah. And then, but my dad's a stand-up. Yeah. My dog's a stand-up.
It's funny because, like, the whole idea, like, the what's the word? What word am I looking for? When you're not the personality, but your identity. The identity of being a stand-up has, like, on paper changed. Just the description... the things you do, the way you present yourself, the priorities, like what's important. Like now, marketing yourself is extremely important because it's like available to everybody.
It used to be you were a loser if you marketed yourself.
Yeah, it used to be you're a loser for selling merch after your show. Yeah. But now it's like, oh, that's how you make money. And this is a way people are making like viable careers out of it. Yeah. Out of selling themselves.
Which is great. Like it's nice that there's more roads to making money.
There were more roads to making money, but then there weirdly are like more obstacles because there are more people doing it. Or it's like, how do you stick out?
Do you feel like it's like stand-up's been leaning more to the right lately?
I think just those people are more present in the culture. But also I think I do believe that whole thing about like the lonely man problem in America where it's just like these guys are just like at home doing nothing with no purpose, but they love watching other people who like sound a little smarter than they are and like feel like they can live vicariously through them.
Yeah, it's weird. Like we're spending so much time alone, and then we just put on all these clips and all these podcasts to feel like we're talking to people. which we are. We're your friends. And
It's true.
but it's like, yeah, we should all just have a picnic instead.
Yeah. I'm like, is stand-up hurting the population? Like, is stand-up just creating more people who would rather not do the work of having their own opinion or personality, and just like they can just present these other comedians they like as like, well, this is who I am, basically. This guy, and this guy.
Right.
Yeah.
When in reality, none of us really exist
Yeah.
as a thing.
Yeah. So, like, what's the point? I guess
I don't know what I was saying.
I think
Except that, like, you don't need to have a thing.
nobody needs to have a thing, and I feel like everybody feels like they need to have a thing.
Yeah.
And everybody feels like they need to present it and have it like, PowerPoint it out or something. Like everything has to have sort of a visual, easy to understand
Yeah.
presentation, infographic of you as an individual, as opposed to like a complex sort of mush.
I've always felt like I'm someone that has like such a strong personality, and that's probably like why I'm a stand-up and all this stuff. But then I was watching Wendy Williams, and her progression into dementia is kind of her personality. And she has a strong, fun personality, but then you can just kind of watch it become dementia. And I've seen that in women in my family, where it's just like, and also my partner's uncle who we were taking care of, where it's just like, here's someone who had a strong personality that's kind of sneakily become dementia. And it's hard to tell because they're so kind of quirky. Anyway, I think that my whole personality has just been like pre-onset dementia, or so like it's a pre-dementia.
That's all of our personalities.
Let me tell you something. I did Wordle the other day, and then I did it on another device where it wasn't signed in, and I forgot what it was, and I fully just got to do the Wordle again the same day.
Whoa.
So I'm just saying, it's going. It's the Legos.
Yeah, it's the Legos. One time I was like, I got into my car, and same car I'd had for years, and I like forgot how to turn on my front headlights. And I was like, wait, it's like this, right? Like I never really, in that moment, I actually was thinking about it. Like normally I would just sort of automatically, but for whatever reason, I was like, wait, that can't be right. And then I just like, took me a long time to be like, no, that's how it is. I think just sometimes, your brain farts, as they say.
For sure.
The brain is imperfect. And we're all experiencing low-level dementia as we get older because we just lose it. We're losing everything.
Wow. It's crazy. So...
Also, you shouldn't be on Wordle right now because they are trying to strike. Or they're striking the people who run it.
New York Times or just Wordle?
The people who are working for the Wordle crossword, that section of the New York Times. They're trying to unionize.
Okay, so we're not supposed to do it right now.
I don't think so. As of this moment, I don't think so. I don't think they've struck a deal.
Dang.
So
I'll stay off Wordle.
Figure out your priorities.
Dang, dude.
The Wordle, the thing that's supposed to help your brain.
Yeah. Just stay off it.
Just stay off it.
No worries. So, in your fantasy vision of your future, and also like the future of Earth, America,
comma
the Milky Way.
Wait, so that's the other way. America, comma
Well, the
Earth, comma.
galactic addresses are a little different.
They do it backwards, like how
Like the
Europeans
date.
do the date.
Yeah, exactly. But like, what do you envision for yourself in the best fantasy of your life in 10 years?
I think I get to make a lot of stuff while I have the energy to do it. And that ideally I'm in like good enough health and have enough energy that I can get all the stuff I want to be made. Because I think financially I'll be fine, I think. But also I'm like, I don't know. I don't really like thinking about the future, and I've only recently started doing that and being like, oh yeah, this is something I can actually think about. Because I think it's good to have things to look forward to. As opposed to being like, what's the point? There's no reason to go on.
I know, yeah. It's weird because it's like, oh, you're supposed to be in the moment, but also deal with your past and plan for the future.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've only ever been able to do one at a time.
Yeah,
Well,
same.
in the past, try to stay present or be goal-oriented in terms of what I want in my future.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. But like a typical day for you, 10 years from now, you wake up.
I wake up, I have maybe a mushroom coffee.
Dang, dude.
Which I'm already starting to, I'm transitioning to mushroom coffee.
Oh, not like shrooms.
No.
Okay.
Not
I
like
was
enlightening.
This is going to be a good day.
No. Maybe I have a kid. Maybe I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe I have another dog. Let's just say I have 2 dogs.
Okay.
And I'm living here in Los Angeles in a house that I've purchased.
Okay.
That is in a neighborhood that's nice enough, but not too nice.
Am I coming over?
You're coming over.
Do I drop in like Kramer for...
You bust in my door. You don't take your shoes off, and I'm mad about it.
I wouldn't do that.
I know. Yeah, I don't know. Then maybe I go to my office. I would do a little work. Kind of fart around. Yeah, try to be able to like write and create stuff at home would be nice. Have like a little like art studio space, perhaps a garage to put stuff like that in. To have stuff like the musical instruments and all my art supplies. And then, I'm kind of just like, what am I going to do today? Do I have anything to do today? If I do, I do it. If I don't, I kind of just go around the house and look at it. I don't know. Hang out with people, invite people over. It's a lot. I think my future is a lot of being at home, to be honest.
Sounds great. That sounds doable.
Yeah, because I think the work that I'll end up doing, hopefully, is going to be like really intensive and take me other places. So home will be very important.
Sounds beautiful. Are you doing any stand-up or are you just creating any live?
In 10 years from now?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't really... I'm really trying hard to see it in my future, and it's kind of a blip. But I don't know. It kind of... I feel like that's only partially determined by me.
Right.
Like, if I decide one day to post a couple of clips, if those go well, aka viral, or whatever.
Yeah.
And if there's... It's honestly like a supply and demand. If people are demanding it, I'll supply it. But at this point, I'm not demanding it.
Yeah.
No one else seems to be demanding it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't feel the need to supply it.
Yeah. I do demand it, personally.
From me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do it then.
I loved your album. I loved the sharp feet thing.
Yeah.
As we
that really resonates with people.
Yeah, as we age, the feet get sharper. And my feet are not getting sharper.
Mine are.
My family doesn't really age in a sharp way. We age more in a saggy, clump way. And I feel like I have 2 toes that are merging. Like,
I can see that.
Like the knuckles for my toes are now like here. And those 2 toes in the middle...
They're fusing.
They're fusing.
Yeah. That could happen, probably.
Dang. I guess I need to spread my feet apart more. But
I'm drying out. I just know I can feel myself drying out.
Can I say one thing that's positive about that for me?
Mm-hmm.
In my 20s and teen years, lots of yeast infections all the time. Mm-hmm. And I think part of that was so horny, too swampy.
Oh, dry in that way.
Yeah, I went there.
Unfortunately, I'm still so uncomfortably wet all the time.
Dang. Well, that's good though.
And I keep getting yeast infections.
You have to change your underwear all the time.
I'll change my underwear twice a day.
Yeah. That's good.
You
might need to do more in LA.
I know.
When it gets warm, I still change multiple times a day.
I might stop wearing it all together at some point. I might have pants designated for when I don't want to wear underwear.
I might go to the top of the hill, strip down, put my vag to the wind, and sit there all day.
And then hang your underwear up like a little flag.
Yes.
So everybody knows that's what you're doing there. I think, yeah. What do they say about people like facing their vaginas to the sun? Is that supposed to be good for you or something?
I don't know. I'll have to check Goop.
Or your butthole to the sun.
Ugh, I haven't done that. But I did look at a picture of my butthole recently because I had a hemorrhoid. And I do think it's interesting, the darkness, like why people bleach their butthole.
Yeah.
There's some dark kind of...
But that's the skin.
It's the skin.
That's like...
People bleach it.
Blood vessels.
Is it? Because I was like, why is it brown? I know that poo comes out of there, but it's clean.
It's not coming out constantly.
Right, exactly.
It's not staining your butthole.
Right. I don't think it's a stain, is it? It's not a poo stain. It's like...
It can't be.
Why is it dark?
I think it's blood vessel. I think it's... Yeah.
Just there.
Yeah.
All right.
Because it's got... There's a lot of... I'm assuming like when you get a boner or whatever, the blood rushes to your butt to use the muscles to push it out the poop. And so it needs more blood vessels to do that? This is all... I almost said hearsay. This is all... just sort of my theory. And I'm not going to look it up.
So blood's just going betwixt in that area, the clit to the butthole.
Yeah. It's like, you get one of those pens that has water in a... You got a pen that has like a little tiny boat or something in it.
Yeah.
Or like a lady where it's like, forget it. You know what I'm talking about.
So that's why you don't usually have sex and poo at the same time. That's too much.
I think it's probably physically impossible.
People have done it.
But it's probably on accident because it's like people poop their pants on accident, you know? People don't come on accident. Well, I guess when you're younger and you're having emissions.
Or you're riding a bike. Have you had that?
No.
All right. Anywho, I think that's a good place to wrap it up.
Okay.
Unless you have another point.
No. Oh, I feel like the future is so many different things can happen that I can only really compute like a home. Like everything outside of it that happens outside of it, I can't even entertain the idea of what could happen. Yeah,
I kind of love that. Just focus on your home and making a little safe zone.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah.
All right.
Cute.
Well, Claire, I really appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
And I hope to see the rest of your timeline.
And I yours. Cheers.
This is Some Timeline. Wow.
Thank you so much for listening. You've made it to the very end of my first episode of Some Timeline. And what a time it's been, even since I started recording this and trying to get this off the ground. And since I recorded with Claire, so many bad things, elections and wildfire. I've been ill. It's just been kind of a thing where it makes this title and concept kind of dumb. It's like a little too, the more time I let pass, the more on the nose this concept has become. But nevertheless, she persisted. I want to thank Clare Okane, my first and most fabulous guest. We might just have to stop making episodes because this is maybe we had the best one already. Claire is fabulous. Has an album out called Everything I Know How to Do. That is so funny. Her Instagram is at Clare is Okane, and follow her and see everything that she's involved with, and go see her live. What a joy it is to know you is to love you. And also I wanted to say thanks to Jeff Traeger for the music, intro music, so fabulous, and Seth Hover for editing the audio. Any mistakes you find in the audio is my fault, and if there's a chance that you can even hear it like physically, that's thanks to Seth. And the album artwork, it's a podcast. The artwork is AJ Howard at AJ Is Not Here, a fabulous illustrator and animator. And that's about it for today, except that I do want to remind everyone that it is possible to contribute to this podcast. Anything you want, any thoughts you have, any questions, email sometimelinepod@gmail.com or leave a voicemail at 747-666-7005. I'm trying to make this like a thing where people contribute and it's a whole thing. But obviously it's new and nobody has yet. Despite the fact that I've posted like someone send me something, but maybe I'll need an example. So I have a poem to read, and this is a poem by Leonard Nimoy. So you could send me something like this if you have a way with words like Leonard Nimoy does. So this is the late Leonard Nimoy. In the midst of lies and painful sorrows, lonely men without tomorrows, promises not meant for keeping, curtains drawn but not for sleeping, on top of the mountain stand you and I. The eye of time looks on in wonder. The circus band blares out its number. Gray heads sitting in the sun, wondering what they might have done in the vortex stand you and I. In the rushing, crushing, pell-mell dashing flow of moments going by, blowing winds and falling leaves, swaying trees that bend and sigh, prayers floating, hearts emoting, in the center ring, you and I. And that moment was just meant to be shared between me and you, the listener. And that's an example of something. You could write me a little poem and I'll read it at the end of my episodes here. And I thought that poem was just very nice. Leonard Nimoy has a way of reaching to me from the past and consoling me in these dark times. So I hope you're well. This is Some Timeline. Bye-bye.